All right, I've been wanting to do this video for a while. It is the K-70 versus the KP. Today I'm shooting with the DJI Osmo action camera. I'm really liking this. Should do a review on it. There's so many reviews out there, but I had the Hero 5 GoPro before, and this thing is just so much better. It's only 200 bucks, so if you're looking for an action camera, go ahead and get that. But let's start talking about these Pentax cameras. So here they are. Both different. Let me take the lenses off real quick so we can see. Now the KP is mentioned to be a lot smaller, and if you look at the actual sizes of these cameras, it doesn't seem like it's that smaller. But we're going to check it out right here. Hold them straight up so you can see them. See that? They're not too much different, but this the KP is definitely a little bit smaller. But what else is also smaller, I'm going to talk about ergonomics next, is the grip. I really like Pentax grips, especially K-70. The K1 is outstanding as well. It's a nice deep grip. The KP comes with 3 different grips that you could change out. If you have smaller hands, that's great. But I really don't care for this. With the smaller size, you see my pinky fits under there. With the K-70, it fits in there fine without it going under there. Now there is a different grip. If you want a deeper grip, you can order one separately. This comes with 3 grips, I think, but this is the largest one. So I have to keep it under there. It's not horrible, but the KP is definitely better for me. And also on the weight of these. Online, it had this KP is weighing less, but filling into my hands, I think the K-70 actually weighs less. The weight on the K-70, it said with battery and memory card, and this, it didn't say with battery and memory card. I put them on a scale, and the KP actually weighed a little bit more, but the body on this thing feels a lot more solid on the KP compared to the K-70. This kind of feels a little bit more plasticky, but this feels a little bit more solid. So I'm going through all these features just to kind of show you the difference. You can make up your mind which one you want to purchase. Originally they were way far away in price, but now they're kind of close. So this on paper is the better camera, but they're really similar as far as a lot of specs on them. So as you might know, the K-70 has a flippy screen, all the way out articulating, and the KP just pulls out like that, up and down kind of deal, which is nice to have that instead of just one that's static on there. But definitely I like the K-70 better as far as that's concerned. Now let me see what else we want to talk about. We want to talk about the button layouts on these. So if you like getting in the menus and stuff, this KP has a ton more in the menus. Well, not a ton more, but has quite a little bit more in the menus than the K-70 does. So if you like digging in the menus, and also it does have 5 user modes, where the K-70 only has 3. Personally, I don't use the user modes. I've got like one I set up. I've been doing some bird photography lately, so I just set one user mode up for bird photography, and I'm like 95% on just AV mode shooting, so I don't really change out of that all that often. But if you do, that would be a great feature to have. I'll talk about the button placement as well, since the KP has, let's see here on the side, it's got this extra AV mode. That's nice. I've found myself using that where the K-70 doesn't. The layout on top is kind of like the K1 if you have the K1. So this is the KP here. See, it has this extra dial here, which is very handy. You could change it to whatever you need, exposure and different creative modes. So that's very helpful. But the way the buttons are laid out on this, since it is a little bit smaller, it seems like a couple millimeters too short. It's like my fingers are trying to get. It's laid out good, but it just seems a little bit too small. Well, I have like medium-sized hands, so but it's works good. And also this little knob right here See, it's different on the K-70. I think it's laid out better here because it's like right here instead of kind of vertical there, and this one's more straight on. I found myself liking the KP better for that. What else we're going to talk about? I guess I should talk about autofocus. I didn't really try out the autofocus, but it's just because I don't do a lot of action sports. If you're looking for action sports, this would probably be the better camera, but it has a lot more, you know, focusing points. So this one has a total of 27 focus points and 25 are cross type. Both these cameras use the phase detect autofocus system. And while the K-70 only has 11 focus points, but 9 of them are cross type. So if you are one that goes across and wants to use a lot of focus points, this might be the camera for you. Both these cameras are weather sealed. Both of these cameras have 100% viewfinder. Both of these cameras do have shake reduction or image stabilization on the sensor. All that classic stuff that Pentax is known for. So that's why I say these cameras are both very similar. Okay, let's talk about what else we got. Let's do the shutter test here as well. Let me do something else first. Let's talk about the ISO, image quality, basically. I did some tests today, and I'll put those on the screen now. These are high ISO tests. I turned all the correction off in cameras and just shot these on my drum set here. And this is at a very high ISO, 25,600. So something you typically wouldn't shoot of, but both of these cameras perform very well. I watched a video when the KP was first released, and it said there wasn't much difference. And I found that the same thing, there wasn't much difference. So there you go. I mean, the KP did perform slightly better. You can see on the K-70 where it's a little bit chunkier in the grain there. So it was, I put them in Lightroom and tried to do the same corrections. I just corrected the luminance on the noise reduction to 50, and the KP smoothed out a little bit better, but both of them did not perform bad at all. So the KP gives a ridiculous number about the ISO that you would never use. What is it? 800, over 800,000, and the K-70 use 200,000. I'm not going to shoot at that. Nobody would ever shoot at that. It's there if you want to shoot like a vampire in a cave or something, but it's not going to turn out. What else? They're both 24 megapixels, but the KP is 24.96, and then this one, K-70 is 24.7, so nothing significant there. And what was the last thing? You have any? If I leave anything out, just leave a comment below. Ask me a question. I'll try to answer. All right, we're going to try out the frames per second on these beasts. I got the same memory card in there on both cameras as a SanDisk. It says it can write 170 megabytes per second, so a very fast card. Same card in both. The K-70 can do 6 frames per second at supposedly fills up the buffer at 40 shots, or you could do RAW and it will fill up the buffer at only 10 shots. So let's give it a shot. We're going to do JPEGs here, high JPEGs. Here we go. Listen. I think that was more than 40. It didn't even slow down. So seems like it could go forever. Let's switch it. Well, let's do the KP real quick. Switch that over. Same thing. Got it 1/2000th of a second. So take a listen. Oh, it did start to slow down there. So it says up to 28. I think that was a little bit more than 28, but I don't know how long you're going to hold the shutter down to do that. But this is definitely faster. So, and it just finished writing to the buffer. Okay, in case you want to hear or see the RAW files, I'll switch it to RAW real quick. This is DNG, and this I'll do the KP first since we just did it. The buffer is clear now, so. Yeah, that was right. I think that was closer to 10 instead of 8, like it said. Okay, now K-70 on the RAW files. Switch it over. DNG. Here we go. Doing a little bit better, but the KP is definitely faster. So, if I missed anything that you would like to know about a comparison to these two cameras, just leave a comment below and I'll try to answer you. Both cameras are very solid. I think you would be happy to have either camera. They're fantastic, but if you're looking for something that's more action oriented, you might want to go with the KP, or if you have larger hands, I would definitely go with the K-70. If you like the flippy screen, go with the K-70. Like I said, both are very solid cameras and I enjoy using both of them. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe if you hadn't. Thanks.